Army and Notre Dame are playing in a football game at MetLife.
Yankee Stadium.
Sorry, Yankee Stadium. God, MetLife was the Navy game, right? So this is a really interesting matchup here. You got an undefeated Army, which I don't think we expected heading into this football game. You got a Notre Dame team that had a terrible loss this season, but it seems like if they just keep winning, they're you know gonna
Doesn't
be in
matter.
it. It doesn't matter, how garbage of a loss you have. As long as you beat an undefeated Army team and the Louisville team that's unranked, you're gonna make the college football playoffs.
Beat an
So
A&M team. They beat A&M.
yeah, so I
They
do
handle it.
want to give some context. There was someone in our comment section 4 months ago that had mentioned the significance of Notre Dame playing the academies, and he mentioned that Notre Dame is playing Army this year because of the 100-year anniversary of the Grantland Rice Four Horsemen article, which I have no idea what that is. I'm sure Notre Dame fans are more familiar with that. He said, so normally Notre Dame doesn't play two military academies, uh, but also the academies don't have large enough stadiums for big games, hence the neutral site. So, uh, and he also mentioned that Notre Dame's never played a Navy in Annapolis, which I believe. But yeah, it's Notre Dame plays Navy every year because of he mentions that during World War II, the Naval Academy kind of saved Notre Dame financially by hosting training on the school's campus and paying them to do it. But so they thank Navy, I guess, in that way. But I guess Notre Dame playing Army is the anniversary of some Grantland Rice Four Horsemen article. So I don't know. I could be totally be getting trolled here, and there's probably I don't know. There could be something, but I think that's cool. I guess if that is that's a real thing. So we thank our people in the comment section that have kind of that perspective. So thank you, boss, for that. With that being said, Notre Dame's a 14.5 point favorite. I'm going to lay it. And I have no problem doing that. I think Army, if you look at Army's schedule, man, and I hate to be a hater of schedules, right? It just, not all schedules are created equally. And you're like, well, how could you say that, and talk so highly about Indiana? It's different, guys. It's different. Like Indiana's pounding bottom half, you know, Big Ten teams, and Army's pounding bottom half American teams, which, by the way, are basically Conference USA teams at this point. Also, Notre Dame knows how to play a triple option, right? You saw them do it to Navy. They literally took Navy and Batman baned them over their knee and just shattered their will to live and play good football. And now Navy sucks. So I like Notre Dame in this spot. I'm not sure offensively they're going to do a whole lot. With the military academy, generally that clock is going to be milked pretty fast. And Army's defense also has been no slouch either. They've looked really good against some pretty decent offenses, I would say, in the American. But yeah, I think Bryson Daly, the quarterback of Army, is obviously the key player here in this one. And he's looked so good all season. Battled some injuries midway through the season. Army still found ways to win football games. But I like Notre Dame in this spot. I think they're just too much for Army.
I do too. I feel pretty good about that as well. Give me Navy minus, Notre Dame minus, was it 14.5 for picking it at?
Yeah, 14 and a half.
Yeah. And like you said with Navy, the only thing with that game too that worries me a little bit about this pick is there were a ton of turnovers. And I think Bryson Daly is obviously a monster, and they've been down as of late since he's kind of been banged up, but they did get a bye. Hopefully, get healthy and really prepare for this game because, damn it, they're right in the playoff mix, and if they win this football game, like it's going to be hard to keep them out if they run the table. Now they do have a pretty tough finish to their schedule. We did talk about who they have played, and it's not the best of teams, right? It's been a pretty brutal schedule, and they finished pretty strong with Notre Dame and Navy and potentially Tulane. Well, actually, definitely Tulane in that conference championship game. Yeah, and Notre Dame too can't afford another loss. You can't lose to two G5 teams and expect to make the playoffs. It's not going to happen.
And if they did make the playoffs, then they have to rethink the entire way that they structure that thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not
And
structure it, sorry, how they evaluate resumes.
yes. And for Army too. I mean, they're offensively they've been awesome, right? They've been clipping out of 53.5%. Their down rate They saying I had the chains. They're only at 38 penalties on the year. 38 penalties on the year. A lot of that is due to how shortened the games are and how fewer plays are played in each game. But regardless, it's definitely worth noting and very important in this game. But like you said, I think Notre Dame is so good right now. I think their front seven is looking after this team defensively. You let Jeremiah Love really get going, and Leonard's been good too. Leonard's been, dare I say, competent throwing the football, and then they're starting to get some emergence from the receivers. Mitchell Evans got involved last week, so that was good to see. Yeah, I like Notre Dame here in this spot. It's definitely probably going to be more competitive than that Navy game. Well, it's probably definitely going to be more competitive than that Navy game, but we'll see what happens here in terms of how ugly it does get, or if Army kind of holds them in tight here. Notre Dame has not played a fourth quarter game, by the way, since NIU, if I'm not mistaken. Right, so it's
Yeah.
since NIU, which is crazy. I guess Louisville kind of made it close at the end there, but not really. It was a 14-point game with 10 minutes to go. So yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting how they get tested here. But can I ask you this? What score does Army have to hold Notre Dame to? Like what's if it's like, okay, this Notre Dame's under
Like
21
17.
points, like a 17.
They got to like hold them to like 17 points.
It's gonna be points will be hard to come by, I think, in this game for Army.
I agree. Yeah, taking the under, I don't think is a terrible idea. I don't know what the under's at. I'll say that
44,
I 44. It does seem
44 and
pretty
a half,
high,
I guess.
but I guess we don't really
Big
know a
spread.
whole lot about we don't know a whole lot about Army's offense, what they're going to do against like an actual defense. So we'll see.